So I printed this section, the third, I call it my pizza rotor because it's in slices. And there's my Lego coupling points in there, the bits that stick out. They don't stick out a lot actually when you look at it on here, but that's because that coupling, the joining surfaces are pretty thin, but that's fine. Once it's bonded together, it'll be really strong. So I did this one yesterday and I acetoned it. As you can see, it came out nice and shiny. So I have to basically do every piece exactly the same, otherwise I end up with warpage and things. So what I've done with this, I've had it in the acetone vapor for a bit, and then I put it in a container to kind of dry out slowly. Now I just printed this one today. So the first thing I do is I spray the outside wall, which is the main part that has to be really strong because it usually has some micro hairline fractures. So what I'll do is I'll shine the light through the back and I'll look to see where the light comes through. You might be able to see, oh, the bit of black crap there came off my print nozzle. Carbon. What affected it is right in the bottom, so that's fine. But yeah, I can't get the focus on it. Right, and if I get my torch, what I do is I shine my torch through the back like this, and I look for any bright areas where there's a fracture, and then I obviously seal it. So what I've got to do next is, because this is the one I've just printed, I look for any bright areas. You can't really see, actually, there isn't really any. The LED lights will shine a bit brighter through some areas than others, but I'm looking for cracks, but there isn't any, really. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I do, so you can get an idea of how I strengthen everything up. So I'm getting my camera stand, this thingamajig, I stick it in the stand. So the next process I have to do is I liquefied the ABS plastic so it's actually a bit thinner than it was. Take my needle out. I had to clean the nozzle because it was all clogged up. Now, before I put this on, I want to show you the... Obviously it's not going to fit properly yet because that one has shrunk slightly, so this one is mismatched until that one's been treated the same, and then they'll match up again because there's a slight amount of shrinkage. So this one looks, if you can look at the edge, you'll notice there's a bit, oh, you can't really see, but there's a slight, oops, damn it, dropped it. There's a very slight step, but it's only because the acetone is shrunk this one more than that one. Very tiny amount of difference between the two, so they won't match up perfectly until I've done exactly the same treatment to all three pieces. But you can see the missing piece, you can see it's quite big. So there's my hand span, you can get an idea, it's pretty big. It's a lot bigger than the original one, which I'm just going to grab a minute. So got my paperweight on it as well. So there's the rotor on that one. You can see the rotor on this one is going to be a lot bigger. A lot bigger. And there's 6 segments in this, and there's only 3 in the small one. That paperweight is really heavy. Nearly dropped the damn thing. So next phase is to where's my torch? So I get my torch, stick it down there and shine light so I can see what I'm doing, because I have to, it's in my eye now. Probably best if I don't use the torch actually. So I've got to squirt it around and rub it inside there to line the, to fill in all the little crevices basically. So I can't do this and show you very well because it's difficult. I've got to angle it so I can get the light on it so I can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the edge and go in the corners, doing exactly the same on this one as you do on the other one. So squirt a bit out, and it's like toothpaste. It comes out really runny actually. It's like normally if I spray the inside of the thing, it liquefies it anyway, but I don't want to do that. I just want to add some material rather than taking it away, because this will dry and shrink anyway. So you won't be able to see this, but I don't know if I can shine the torch. I can't waste too much time, otherwise it will dry. So I'm going to try and see if you can see what I'm doing here. I just use the needle to, now you see, because I'm tilting it, it's running out the end now. This is what I wanted to avoid. It's very runny. It is worse than, it's more liquid than toothpaste actually. It's more like yogurt. I'm lining the inside to add structural strength, because when this dries it will be very strong. So that's one side. Now I'm going to do the other side. I wish I could shine the light around the back. Let's try that. Don't know if this will work. Can you see that? Probably not, I don't know. So there's a carbon deposit that ended up inside it. No, this doesn't work, it's too red. Can't see. I need the light to reflect on the layers, which I can see when I'm doing it. When I've got it like this, I can see the layers. I can actually see where the light reflects on them, and it enables me to fill those seamlessly, so there's no seam. I don't know if I can turn the camera around. I don't know, let's try that. If I move the camera over here, point the camera down a bit, maybe, but the camera might fall over because it's droopy cam. I don't want it to fall on the floor. Is it going to stop drooping? Hang on, push it down a bit because it weighs even more when it's... Yeah, I think it's going to work. Right, so let's try this angle. So I've done that one, and then I'll show you what I do afterwards when I put this on. Yeah, that's better, you can see now. I'm trying not to get any areas where it's clogged, clumped, if you know what I mean, otherwise I won't get my inserts in, my segments in won't go in. If I leave it too long it dries very quick, this stuff, so I am trying to be quick. Did I do that one? I can't remember now. Yeah, I did that one. Oh, I've got this back wall to do, this wall to do. Once we've done this, I have to spray it with acetone. Right, now that I've done all of that, I'm not worried about the inside wall because that's not going to be under any stress whatsoever. Now the acetone treatment comes, so I need to clean my plastic needle because it's covered in plastic. And a bit of acetone on that. Clean. Back this out a bit, otherwise the needle gets full of plastic, hard plastic, and I stick my pin in. That's sorted out. Now get the spray, because it has to go in this container in a minute. So now the fun part, and the acetone just seals everything. So I'm squirting all this on in there, glosses it all over. I'm not doing the bottom. Right, so that's been squirted. Oh, don't forget the hub. Now it goes in here for about, well, a few hours. It only just fits in, actually. Only just. Right, so I'm going to leave that in there now. Probably 6 hours, and then I'll put it with the other one which I did yesterday, inside that one to even out, equalise the acetone in all three pieces. They're all going to end up in this big tub. Then I'll be bonding them all three together when they've equalised in size. So there we go. I've got to leave that now for the acetone to equalise on that one, and then transfer it across to the other container. So that's where we are at the moment, and get my phone out of here, if I can get it out of here. Come out, wherever you are. Right, so turn that up better. So I'm printing the other piece at the moment. So the third piece is currently on the print bed. Just started it basically, so that's going to be about 4 hours. Well, 3 hours and 50 minutes or something like that anyway. I think it's been going for 10 minutes. So that's where we are at the moment. Oh yeah, I just wanted to let you know, I didn't delete my other videos about the karma. I had a thought. I thought, well, maybe I'm going to attract a lot of karma conspiracy, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to make them unlisted. Well, I just don't need to attract negativity. That's what so the videos aren't deleted. They're there for friends and people that want to see them, but I unlisted them for now because I had a bit of I get these days, it's probably my hormones, but I get these days when I get these emotional hormonal rants where I get a bit, well, you've heard me before, I tend to get really irritated sometimes, and it pisses me off when I hear about people getting ripped off, you know. So anyway, I was getting a little bit of a big yeah. Anyway, I just thought, well, no point in attracting more attention than it deserves, really, because everyone's got a different opinion. Some people agree with karma stuff and other people don't, and it's sidetracking from what I'm trying to do here. So I figured, yeah, let's just unlist it, because the last thing I need is when I'm right in the middle of a project, you know, like that, what I'm doing right now with this generator, is all of a sudden to be bombarded with about 10 people who say, oh, I think you're wrong, blah blah blah. Karma's a load of bullshit. You know, that's what that's what I might end up with. So I thought, well, yeah, nah. Anyway, so let's see how this goes. I've got to start winding. Obviously, I haven't done the canopies yet, because I remember when I was testing the test version, I was talking about the adding coupling steel to the back. Hang on, without knocking this flipping acetone over. It's got a lid on it anyway, but this is freaking heavy with that paperweight on it. It's bloody heavy. Right, do you remember I was saying that I put this bit of steel on the back to improve the coupling? Well, the canopies that I modelled for the scaled up version haven't got any slots in the back yet, and I'm going to add some slots onto the canopy in between where the coils go, so that I can put my steel. Oh, where are they? Well, I've been salvaging. I melted the other two. I'll show you in a minute. Just a minute. Let's take this off. You know the steel shims that I'm using. Hang on a minute. I've got to put that on my knee. Right. So, all my steel stuff I'm going to use. I melted I didn't melt them down completely. The other two, the other three, segments, I sat them in a pool of acetone and I melted the bottoms out of them. Basically, this is what's left of them. I sat them in a puddle of acetone, and look at the state of that now. It's melted all, and I couldn't get them out otherwise. And once it softened enough, it became like putty, and I was able to push all my metal pieces out, and they all came out the bottom, and I grabbed them with pliers and pulled them out. And this is what's left of the other three, the ones that didn't work so well. So it all melted the bottom and the bottom out, because it was sealed on the bottom. If you remember, there was no exit strategy. If you know what I mean, I could push at the top, but it wouldn't come out because there was a bottom on there. But I softened the bottom. Then it was so soft I could just scrape it off with a blunt knife. So I was able to get all the pieces out, and this is what's left. But I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to melt this down and use it as ABS plastic at some point. So I'll just melt it down and turn it into liquid plastic, you see. So it's not going to get wasted. I'll use that to make my liquid plastic when I need more. Because if you remember, I don't use support material now. Much. I hardly ever end up with support material. I hardly end up with any waste plastic, because I try to print things in such a way that I don't have to use support material, and because of that I don't end up with a lot of waste plastic. And so I have to salvage what plastic I do end up scrapping and use that to make my ABS slurry, which is what I'm doing. So yeah, I've got to make some little holders that will stick on the back of these canopies to put my steel coupling in, which is what I'm going to use. Little shims, them steel shims. I'm going to slot them in the back, then I can add them and subtract them, and yeah, and make a coupling thing on the backs of these canopy things. So that's what I've got to do in SketchUp, so I'm going to model that as well. So I'm not going to be able to wind any coils until I've got them canopies sorted out, or I could print them and then stick the little holder things on the back as a separate piece. I could do that, but I figured, well, there's no point really. Why don't I just print it on in one go, because it'll strengthen them as well. It'll stop them warping as much, because it'll be a backbone. It'll effectively have a backbone which will make it really strong so it doesn't warp. So that's what I'm going to do it that way. So I've got plenty of steel in these containers to make the new inserts. I've got some more in this one. These are the ones with the little cutout slots on. Can't get the lid off. Can't get the lid off. Trying to get the lid off with one hand is very tricky. Can't get it on. It was tight. So these are the ones with the little notches cut out in the middle. So I've got a lot more of these, and they're still in the street across the room on the back wall. So I've got loads of these I haven't pushed out yet, so I've got plenty of them. So I was going to use them on the edge of on the outer edge of the rotor assemblies. I'm going to use the flat ones on the inside. Right, so that's the update. All done for now, I think. Bye for now.